Page 86, African Celebration. It's a piece that you can play for people if they want to hear you play something. It's a nice piece. Let's talk about this one hand at a time. Now it's in 4/4 time, and the right hand doesn't come in until the last measure of the first line. And you're coming in with thumb on middle C. You're not going to stay there, but that's where you're going to start. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just make sure you can get all the notes in the rhythm okay. Go down to the third line. This is measure 13 where you have the whole note here. That's tied to a quarter note. You're going to hold that down for 5 counts. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then you go on. That happens again in the next line. Then over on page 87 at the top, at the end of the first line, you have to move up an octave. You're up here in this position. You're playing the same thing you were playing before, but now you're playing it up here. The last line, you're starting it here when you play there on measure 41. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then the next measure, you have a rest. You got time. Just come down an octave here to where you started, and that's the right hand. Then the left hand, you have a C and a G. That's, for the most part, what the left hand's doing. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's kind of like the drums, I guess. Let's go down to the third line. The last measure, you have a here. You finally get some notes, and you're back to that. Left hand isn't moving around here until you get to the end, at the bottom of page 87. The last line, you're still here, but in that last measure, that C has an 8/8 under it. So you got to go down here. You have a rest, you got time, just lift up and move. Doesn't matter what finger you use. They're saying use third finger. That's fine, I don't care. I use fifth finger because it's the closest one to it. Generally, being lazy, I don't want to move too far. Then put the hands together. Well, at the beginning, it's left hand only, it's not a problem. But then at the end of the first line there is 1. Now this left hand is tied. So really it's the left hand, the right hand we want to hear. Let's go down to the third line, the third measure over here. Basically, we do it again, except the right hand's up here. Then add the articulation. Well, you have accents here. At the beginning, it's an accent. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Just give it a little extra oomph. And the right hand. Now, when the right hand comes in, we want to hear the right hand. So get the left hand out of the way. Nothing marked articulation or nothing in this. You're playing it basically as legato and smooth as you can. You can't because of the repeated notes, but do the best you can until you get down to the third line. In the left hand, in the third measure, you get staccato. So wrist staccato or hand staccato. Same thing. The staccatos in the left hand, and then over on page 87 is about the same as what 86 was, except your right hand is up here. Then we add the dynamics. Well, it starts out loud. You'll have to decide what loud is. That accent's going to make that note very loud, and then the others are loud. And then when the melody starts, this is moderately soft. You come down, just instantly come down. That means the left hand has to go from loud to soft instantly. Here, just because we want to hear the right hand, and that's moderately soft, whatever that is. The left hand has to be softer than that. So the last two measures of the first line is here. And then in the third line down in the third measure, you come up to moderately loud. That's the right hand. So the left hand can come up to a soft level. And then the top of page 87, you're loud again, like you were at the beginning. This is like it was at the beginning until the end of the first line there. Instead of moderately soft, now you're moderately loud. Here, so the left hand just goes down to about a soft level. And the third line down, the last couple of measures, you go up to loud. And then the right hand, the left hand can stay about where it's at, really. And then at the end, the bottom line, first one, you're loud, now you're... What we're going to do is we're going to grow up to loud, and we got to come down to do that. So you come down, they say moderately loud. You can actually come down to moderately soft to give you more room. And then next measure, go up just a little bit. Next measure, a little more. And now you go back loud there at the end. Don't get loud till the end. So I'm like doing it one measure at a time. I'm just changing every measure. So a little louder, a little louder, now. So we want to be able to tell that you're crescendoing. It will help a little bit perhaps if you put in the retardando there too, because you're going to slow down a little bit. Give it a little more oomph, emphasis, oh boy. Then on top of all that, they've added pedal. I don't know why. I think it's fine without pedal, but they put it in, so let's talk about it. See, the pedal changes the tone. It adds overtones. It changes things so much. We have to be careful when we use pedal. Do we really want the overtones or not? It's not just to connect the notes. There's a couple ways we can do this. At the beginning, well, this would be the top of page 86 and the top of page 87 is done the same way. Push the notes down first and then the pedal. Hold it down all the way across. And now we have a choice here. We can connect it to the song coming in which case you lift the pedal up right after you play the notes in the last measure. Or you can separate it, because this first four measures is like an introduction, in which case you lift the pedal up with the left hand so there's a little silence before you play the last measure. So here, there's two different interpretations. You have to experiment and decide which one you like and use that one. Maybe one time you do it one way and another time you do it another. And another time you do it without pedal, because you really don't need pedal here. But that's what they're doing. Top of page 87, as I said, is the same. And then at the bottom of page 87, at the end, we're going to grow this out. We're going to let pedal help us out here. So you hear, just hold it down. And you hold it. They're showing the pedal all the way through the rest and everything. There's no fermata, so I'm a little concerned about that. Because they're showing with their markings that the pedal would be held for four beats through the rest. What's the point in a rest? So in my mind, you're slowing it down. I would lift the pedal up with the left hand here. There. I would not hold it out, because here you can lift the hand up at the end of 2 beats, but now you got the sound going with the pedal, and then you lift the pedal up. And if that's the effect you want, fine, go with that. But I think it's better to lift the pedal up with the hand at the end. Actually, I think it's better not to use a pedal at all, but I keep talking about that. Let's try this together slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics, but I will do the pedaling. So I'll give us 4 counts and let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. 2. 1, 2. 4. 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four.